We're moving right along in our In the Trenches bracket where the fans decide who has the best defense in the NFL. Today's matchup pits a couple of teams against each other who are very familiar with the Super Bowl over the past 6 or 7 years. But first, let's check up on the results of that first matchup. It was between the New York Jets and the Baltimore Ravens, and this one wasn't very close. The Baltimore Ravens move on to the semifinals over the Jets. Who will face them? It's the Giants or the Steelers. We're going to go in the trenches where PFW publisher Hub Arkish and senior editor Mike Wilkening battle it out.
Mike, we are back in our quest to find the best defense in the NFL. You've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I will say is certainly one of the 2 or 3 best defenses in the NFL. I've got the New York Giants, who statistically don't fit, but they're wearing rings the last time I checked. The second one they've won in the last 4 years, and when it comes to a big game, nobody plays defense like the New York Giants. So I'll let you kick it off. Why are the Pittsburgh Steelers the best defense in the NFL?
Well, you know what you're going to get from the Pittsburgh Steelers game in, game out. First in yards allowed last year, first in points. They're a team, the present and future of this defense I think is bright. I think overall, Dick LeBeau, one of the best coordinators in the game. They were first in pass defense, which is not typically known as their strength. This is a team that gets it done on multiple levels. We know they're going to be stout versus the run. This is a very, very good defense, an experienced, sound group.
I have nothing negative to say about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are one of the best defenses in the league. The one thing I wonder about is they've decided this was the offseason to cast off some veterans, to make some changes at some positions. Will they be able to do it? Now, I take a look at the New York Giants. I think Justin Tuck is the most complete defensive lineman in the NFL. Jason Pierre-Paul is threatening to battle him for that designation. Chris Canty does a great job at tackle. At linebacker, Matthias Kiwanuka on one side. They've added Keith Rivers, a former top 15 pick in the draft from the Bengals. Michael Boley was their leading tackler inside, and then loaded with playmakers in the secondary, and Kenny Phillips, and Terrell Thomas is their best corner. He was out last year. They've got him back. Corey Webster had a breakthrough season. They may not compare with the Steelers or the Niners or some of the other best, but when it comes to winning big games, is there anybody better than the New York Giants defense?
The Giants' performance in big games, I think, is their calling card. It's a special ability. Well, the Steelers do that as well, and they're special in the regular season. I think the consistency is what separates them. Getting to the point where they can get into those big games, I think, is the major question. 4th worst pass defense last year. I know that they get Terrell Thomas back, but you lose Aaron Ross. They give up a lot of yards in the back end. I think the linebacking core, while a little bit better, I think is still not exactly a strength. Overall, if I'm going to have a concern about this Steelers defense, it is the age. The bulk of their starters are over 30 years old. But again, this is a group that they've been dealing with the age question for years and years and years. And when you look at the guys they got rid of, Aaron Smith, I believe, had missed 33 of 48 regular season games. James Ferrier was in his mid-30s or thereabouts. Larry Foote steps right in. They've been able to draft and move younger guys into that defense for years. They've already started to do that along the defensive line. You look at that linebacking core, Lawrence Timmons, LaMarr Woodley are in the primes of their career. They really like the young corners they have. But it's been a concern for 5-6 years. It's been a concern almost as long as I've been covering them. And they just go on and on and on at a high level year in and year out, blending the youth with the old talent already on board.
I can't poke any holes in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love the way they play defense. I love both Dick LeBeau and Mike Tomlin as coaches. I just wonder, as I said, if this isn't a year where there's going to be some transition and they may have to take a step back. So we're going to turn this one over to our viewers and listeners and readers. Mark's going to give them instructions on how to vote. This is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how this one's going to come out. I think I like your team as much as I do mine. Steelers versus the Giants. We'll see what the viewers say.
So who will face the Baltimore Ravens in the semifinals? The Pittsburgh Steelers or the New York Giants? That's up for you to decide. There are a number of ways you can cast your vote. Leave your vote in the comment section on YouTube or send it to us via Twitter. Or participate in the poll at facebook.com/ProFootballWeekly and, of course, at ProFootballWeekly.com.